I am not bullish on crypto. Actually, I am not bullish on pretty much any financial market right now. It's getting a little bit out of control, but I do have to update you guys. I do want to talk about certain things that you could take action on. It doesn't mean that you should completely leave the market and exit yourself from the situation. This only means that opportunity is about to arise, and you must be prepared for this opportunity, people. Gosh, everyone's leaving the market, and I'm trying to wake people up as much as I possibly can, but this does not mean I'm bullish. Just because my attitude is positive, just because I've been dropping more videos than I ever have before, does not mean I'm bullish. And I want people to continue to educate themselves and make up for the mistakes that they might have made in the bull run, right? Bull run makes stupid investors, and I feel really, really bad for people that came in the bull run and is now going to miss out on all of the developments that the bear run has to offer. Now, I've said over and over again that the bear run will create these resilient projects that will create true innovation in cryptocurrency, right? And this is like how pretty much all markets work. When you have less money, you create more value with less, right? And it's the same thing for investors or traders. If you lost money in the bull run, this is probably to be honest, like I don't think anyone should have lost money in the bull run. I made money. But the first time I came around in 2017, I didn't make money. I lost money. So it's normal for your first attempt to lose money. Let me just be clear about that. But I will say that use the bear run as an opportunity to do much more with less money, is what I'm trying to explain. This is where you harden as an investor. This is where you have the time to dive deep into maybe some of the concepts that you didn't have the time for. Because, you guys know, in the bull run, man, every NFT project, every coin, new coins dropping, there's no time for anything at that point. There's really no time. It's like you're scrambling all over the market to try to figure things out. That's basically the gist of the bull run. But in the bear run, everything slows down. Everything slows down, and it gives you the time to become the trader that you've always wanted to become. So please use this time wisely, because to be honest, we only have a couple of months, like I've claimed 1,000 times. And I'm not bullish right now, and I think the market's going to continue to drop, but you will see my energy and my activity increase because number one, I want to become a better trader and investor, but number two, also, I want to dominate this industry with businesses. I will create solutions to a lot of the problems that cryptocurrency has. And maybe you could do the same thing. A lot of the conversations we're having in Fundamental Secrets is, potentially starting different business models and things like this. And I think it's very relevant. I think creating connections right now, and all I know is while everybody's lowering their energy output, I will be increasing mine because I do the exact opposite of what everybody else does. And maybe you just follow everybody, but hopefully you don't. All right. So a couple of things I want to show you really quickly I thought was very interesting. I'm getting more and more bearish, guys, as we continue. That I'm pretty much completely out of the market. I've been out of the market for a long period of time. I've been 85% out of the market for a couple of months. And then recently I even took more out of the market with this recent bounce. And I do think it's interesting to talk about stablecoins because stablecoins are very important right now. We want to find a place. Cash is king, right? So you have kind of I guess decision to make if you are taking profits or even taking losses. Do you put it in your bank account? Look, I put a little bit in my bank account. I have a little bit in physical cash. I have a little bit of USDT and a little bit of USDC. I think that's probably the best answer. And I do want to watch this play out because again, we just saw a huge a huge stable coin depegging. And I think it's a very good case study. A lot of our comfort comes from these stable coins, guys. And in crypto, there's nothing comfortable. And when the bear run hits, everything falls. I don't know. Maybe I might come a Bitcoin maxi in the bear run. But yeah, USDT has been one of those, kind of comfy, I guess you could say, places to confide with your money for a pretty long period of time. And I think it's very interesting to look at the USDT dominance kind of falling even as the market is falling. And USDC, as you can see here, has been increasing since it started. And if we compare both, this is USDC dominance versus USDT dominance, you can see a lot more people believe in USDC. Now, maybe it's because of the cosign with Coinbase. Maybe it's because, I don't know, they have more actual assets backing up the liquidity of the stablecoin. I don't know what the deal is, but in general, people are definitely gravitating towards USDC way more than USDT. Maybe it's because of the launch. USDT had a horrible launch, a very scammy, sketchy launch. So I don't know what it is, but like clearly, like a lot of people are moving to USDC. So if you are looking to take profits, probably the answer. And I know it's crazy to even have this conversation, about like different stable coins, but I highly recommend you do a little bit of a diversification strategy. This is what I'm doing. Now, if we talk about the specific market, this is the end for me. Okay, this is my confirmation that I have that people are not looking to take risk anymore in crypto specifically. We could talk about the macro environment. This won't be a macro video, but in crypto, people are getting out the market, man. They're not taking as much risk as we get this bounce. As you can see, total DeFi on the right here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, we're getting a little bounce, super small bounce. You can see that the top 100 altcoins versus Bitcoin dominance is still dropping. This is a chart that shows top 100 altcoins. When it goes up, top 100 altcoins are doing better. And when it goes down, Bitcoin dominance is doing better. Okay. So what does this mean? When it goes up, it's like almost like people are a little bit more exuberant. They're taking more risk. They're buying altcoins, right? And then Bitcoin dominance is dropping. So, typically in crypto, when you see Bitcoin dominance increase, it's because everybody's trying to play it a little bit more safe. So it looks like people are for real playing it more safe. If we kind of zoom in a little bit, you can clearly see that we did break through this trend line here that we've been making for a pretty long period of time. Not a trend line, but a support here for about 362 days for about a year. We did break through, then we came back up and it served as resistance. When support turns into resistance, I'm sorry guys, but we're coming down. I think it's very likely that altcoins will bleed out much more than Bitcoin, which signals a risk. It signals that the market in crypto specifically is now risk off. People are not taking risk right now. People are not buying altcoins. Maybe you've seen your favorite influencer discourage you from buying altcoins, which I do believe that that's probably the right answer right now. Nobody should be buying altcoins right now, but I also don't want to let you miss the boat. Like, just to be clear with everybody, I will likely buy altcoins at the bottom. When I do feel that there is a bottom, I'm buying specifically like altcoins. I'm not going to buy that much Bitcoin, just to be clear, but I'm going to time it right and I'm going to be very selective with my altcoin choices. This is actually where the fundamental analysis that I've created, the system, that we call fundamental secrets, comes into play big time, because I'll be researching the heck and back testing all of this research with my community to make sure we pick the greatest altcoins in this bear run. And this is where a lot of my time and energy is going to be going. Remember, I like to make big plays. I'm a position trader. My goal here is to find the 50 hexes and 100 X's. And there's all types of traders and stuff, but that's what I do. And from my experience, the best use of your energy is just making sure you catch those 100 X's at the bottom, man. And the bear run, you grab them. Whether on discount, that is the most significant ironclad action I have ever taken in my life when it comes to investing in anything or making money in any way, is basically buying the best altcoins in the bear run. I don't care. We can talk about anything you guys want, all of these strategies, blah, blah, blah. I keep it simple. I'm catching the 100 X's at the bottom. That's my goal. So we are going to come down. I do think Bitcoin's going to 20K. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. Please don't ignore. Don't ignore what is going down, what the data is telling us. And you can see Bitcoin dominance is increasing. This is a cryptocurrency specific thing. Traditional investors, stock investors, whoever it is, right? They're not going to know this. And what I'm trying to tell you is that when Bitcoin dominance increases and altcoins start to die, this is a clear signal that people are taking less risk in crypto. And you must use that as a signal that even when Bitcoin drops, altcoins are going to get worse. So even though there's a little bounce, when Bitcoin drops below 30K again, which it likely will, altcoins will bleed a lot more. So honestly, it depends on your situation, and I don't want to make a blanket statement for everybody watching this video. It really, really depends on your situation. It really depends on your net worth. It depends on your time commitment to crypto and all these things. But I will say, not financial advice, that maybe after this little bounce, you should probably take some losses and realize, I don't know why people are so uncomfortable with doing this, but it's okay. You could have a moon bag, right? You could have like a little bit. Like I still have 5% in the market, but it's okay to realize losses so that you can stop yourself from realizing more losses. Remember, when you take a loss, there is no tax liability, so you're not losing more money from taxes. right? It's called like tax harvesting. You can buy low again if you want. So how do I explain this? If you have 100% of your portfolio in the market, I don't know if selling the bottom is the right thing to do. Like the bottom's not the place to sell, just to be clear. But you should have never had, all of your money in the market in the first place. So there's just so many questions you have to answer with this specifically. And I think obviously the answer for everybody is just to make your own decision and do your own research. But just to be clear, you guys saw I sold more, I think 5 or 6 days ago. And I think the market's going to continue to drop. And I'm willing to bet on that. So take that what it is for yourself. This is not financial advice, but I do think the market's coming down. And if we look at the Eth Btc ratio, this chart goes up right here. This means that Ethereum is doing better than Bitcoin. So this is another signal. So we have the altcoins signaling for risk off in crypto, right? Altcoins are signaling, hey, the market's getting less risky. People are not really, you're not jumping into these crazy narratives and altcoin narratives, right? They're playing more defensive. That's what the top 100 altcoins versus Bitcoin dominance is signaling. But then also the Eth Btc ratio is signaling the same thing. So if we do break below the support, this would be like the cherry on top for me of the market likely coming down to 20K, if not worse, maybe, I don't know. That's a hard one. We'll kind of play it by ear as we get closer. But this is also another indicator because Ethereum is like the biggest altcoin. So the biggest altcoin is ETH. So it's kind of like an indicator as well. And when we see Ethereum dominance losing to Bitcoin, again, this is like a year trend, guys. Same trend, 374 days, same trend that we're looking at, top 100 altcoins. The altcoins just look like they're dying first, and then Ethereum will die second. It's not dead, but it's in comparison to Bitcoin. So again, market is clearly signaling risk off, which shows that likely the hype behind crypto is probably gone. So the hype being gone, it's okay. That's the point. Like that's why I keep trying to explain to people is like, it's kind of a good thing, man. It's kind of a good thing. Like you don't want to buy all time high. Like the safest place to buy is at the bottom. That's the way it works. The safest place to buy is at the bottom. Now there's an article that I saw here. Covert Chinese Bitcoin miners still account for 21% of the network hash rate. Guys, as we get further and further down, and I had this conversation with my community, a lot of the stuff I get from there, I like to come here because when I talk to them face to face, it really gives me a nice touch of, what people are thinking right now. And Anthony from our group was saying that people were making fun of him for being in crypto and all of these stories of negativity coming from outside sources and stuff like that. And look, you might think that you don't have to do anything. You might think it's easy, but remember, around here is like the hardest time to ever buy. Like right here will be the hardest time to ever sell, and right here will be the hardest time to ever buy. So, when we see things like this, you must double down on your foundational principles of crypto. Are you really in this because you believe in the technology, or are you in this because you wanted to make a quick buck? How many times I gotta tell you guys that this get rich quick type of mentality is the only thing keeping you back from actually getting rich? The best way to not get rich is to try to do it in 30 days. That's the best way to not get rich. If you make a plan that's 10 years long and actually execute and give yourself, a serious attempt at actually trying to get rich, I will bet on that person 1,000,000 times more than the person that's trying to get rich as quickly as possible. So, again, this is the hardest time to sell and this is the hardest time to buy. So as we drop, you are going to question your whole entire existence in crypto. You're going to have friends and family say you're a scammer, and you're going to literally question yourself if it's going to go to zero. The only way you can combat that is to double down on what you already know in the foundational principles of crypto, which for Bitcoin, the foundational principle of Bitcoin is what? It's a peer-to-peer technology. That's just one foundation. There's other foundations. If you don't know these foundations, you're lost in the first place, and you need to educate yourself. Hopefully I'm not trying to give you negativity. I'm just telling you that you will get very insecure. As the market drops, you're going to get very insecure with your decision, and you're going to miss the boat. You're just going to let it go of maybe crypto's a scam. I'm just going to kind of ignore it. As Bitcoin gets to 15K, 20K, I'm just going to kind of ignore it and move to the side. But if the people that did the hard work is really understanding how these protocols work. How do you not I know there's so many people watching this video don't understand how Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies actually freaking work. And sorry that I'm getting passionate about this and screaming at the mic or whatever. This is not negative. This is me trying to push you to do the hard work. What is Bitcoin? How does it work? What is blockchain technology? What is distributed ledger technology? Let's look into the history of Bitcoin. Have you read the Bitcoin white paper? Do you know what peer-to-peer electronic cash is? Do you know the biggest players? Why haven't you answered these questions for yourself? Do you even know the max supply of Bitcoin? Do you understand what the Bitcoin halving is? Double down, dive deeper into the concepts that you think you already know, because when it gets hard, it's going to be very hard to buy the bottom here. I don't care what anybody says. You might think it's an easy game, but I'm here to tell you that you cannot get rich without putting in the work and doing something extremely hard that will test your whole existence. You will not be able to get rich until you test your whole existence. Let me just be clear with everybody watching this video. You will have to do the hard, dirty work. I don't care what nobody says. When this drops, it will not be easy to buy this bottom. 1, you will likely not have money because of the recession. 2, you will likely question everything in crypto. So right now, please do me a favor. Read the Bitcoin Standard. There's a couple of books, right? Educate yourself, right? And right here, this gives me a signal. This gives me a great signal that the peer-to-peer technology of Bitcoin is actually working. 21% of the network hash rate is still happening in China, even though there was a full-on ban of Bitcoin in China. This is what you call peer-to-peer technology, a foundational principle of crypto. And as the market goes down and as FUD happens, the FUD will continue to happen. It will shake out the weak hands. It will scare people as they attack the infrastructure of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I will be laughing my way all the way to the bank. I will be buying all of your bags consistently because you know why? I'm battle tested. I know my foundational principles and I understand what's going on. In other news, we see inflation hitting its 40-year high of 9% in other parts of the world. So I know my macroeconomics. I know what inflation does. I understand the Federal Reserve. I understand that the Federal Reserve has this power at the top, and the last domino to fall is the United States. And as they come in with this hawkish Fed policy, as they decrease spending, other parts of the world will likely fall. These things came from years of experience. So you could take my word for it, or you could do the hard work, and we can clearly see that there's insecurities all over the world and supply chain issues, just like we talked about before, guys. As you can see, 2 children hospitalized due to the baby formula shortage. It's funny because I got twins and I am having this issue. I cannot find baby formula, and this is a big necessity for America and all of the world. And the fact that we're having issues getting baby formula really shows the insecurities of the supply chain, which shows the effects of hawkish Fed policy, right? And if you don't understand these variables, guys, like for real, I'm trying to push you to do the hard things. And I know I've said this like maybe 17 different ways, but that's why you guys are here. You guys are here so I can reinforce your belief of crypto. If we come over here, we do see some huge improvements, at least. The innovation that I was telling you, the people that stick around, the 5 or 10% of the people, investors, as well as developers and projects that stick along, will start to make these huge improvements because now they have time to do it. As you can see, the Coinbase app is now integrating with Web3 and a decentralized market. It's kind of crazy that this is happening in the first place. You can see they're actually taking a DeFi approach with its app, which is great because I think decentralized finance is the next infrastructure of the internet. And, we haven't had this before. The only time you could have done this was with MetaMask. So Coinbase is obviously one of the biggest, it is like maybe top 5 biggest cryptocurrency entities, and now they're integrating Web3. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been using Web3 for the past 3 years, since Web3 was first started on Tron. It wasn't first started on Tron, but it was first actively used on Tron. I've been using it for a while, but it looks like, they're kind of catching up. And maybe the next bull run, we see people trading as, the way I traded in, 2021. A primary Web3 trader. I use decentralized exchanges. It was expensive. Don't get me wrong. I lost I don't even want to talk about it. I probably lost like 20K trading on Ethereum. But maybe we see this kind of push and it would give me a massive strategic advantage next cycle because, you see Coinbase integrating Web3. You see a lot of Web3 talk out there, man. So I think it would be interesting next cycle to see what happens, right? And then we also see Robinhood kind of taking a very similar approach of launching a DeFi wallet to rival MetaMask. So we see the big entities kind of integrating into this Web3 world and the innovation's happening, guys. So as you can see here, Robinhood is, their user base is crazy. They got 22.8 billion people in quarter 1 of 2022. Now, all of these people will likely be shilled DeFi access not directly, but you get the point. Robinhood has a big user base. They're integrating Web3. But yeah, that's the gist, guys. Bear market's here. People are going to leave. It's going to get worse as the price drops. Even if you think you have this very strong understanding of crypto, you will likely be tested. Everybody has their own hero's journey, and you should not diminish it as something. Don't have pride, ego as something easy. It's not easy. You will likely go through it. And I will be screaming the whole entire way along. Not only screaming, but I would be actively making businesses. I would be actively getting connections in the cryptocurrency industry. Yeah, that's a big thing I think people sleep on is like, I don't know, maybe some of the people in my audience are entrepreneurial. I asked my group who was entrepreneurial, and we had a lot of interest. So if you are ever looking to make a business or actually get hired in cryptocurrency, this is the time to do it. Everybody's leaving the market, guys, and really take advantage and network. Go talk to people, get into some groups, right? Talk to these founders that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to talk to in the bull run. Get their contact information, ask them questions. What are those questions you guys have, right? Now is the time to get them answered and to help these people, because when the bull run comes again, you're not going to get in contact with them, right? So many opportunities just rise up, guys. Like everything you wanted to do to get rich just became 100 times easier. And normal human nature just says leave the market. And look, I'm going to go against normal human nature, and I'm going to tell you guys what the deal is. And I will always tell you what I'm doing. So you guys know what I'm doing. I'm getting more and more bullish as the market continues to drop. I will probably make another entry around 20K BTC. I will likely not buy BTC. Maybe I'll buy some BTC. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy some BTC. Maybe I'll buy some ETH. But I will start entering back into the market once we see 20K BTC. Until then, it's time to rise above all of the people that said that they were crypto investors and all these people that pretended like they were doing the hard work. And let's do the hard work, whether that's making a business for yourself, getting hired at a cryptocurrency job, getting the connections, or learning how to invest. All of these things are very relevant, and you should just do all of them. So yeah, actually, I'm going to be making some entrepreneurial videos on this channel, so stay tuned for that. I also make, a bear market tips video, and, we'll dive a little bit into it. I just wanted to get this confirmation that we're in a full-on bear run. But I'm very, very confident that we are in a full-on bear run, and we'll likely see something in maybe about 160 days. Maybe we see the bottom in about 100 to 200 days. That's kind of like my rule of measure, but who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong. And either way, I don't care. I'm going to catch the bottom, so I'll let you guys know what the deal is. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates, and like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. I love you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Catch you in the next one.